And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. Ira, you remember, we were down at the national championship game a couple of years ago down in Atlanta. Michigan goes down to Louisville on the basketball side of things, and you're extremely the feeling that you felt that I felt extremely disappointed but proud, right? And the same thing this past year when we were down in Indianapolis, and they, an unbelievable shot. It was contested, hand in the face. It was from the parking lot. That kid hit that three. So you're disappointed, but you were proud. And that was how I felt, last Friday when Florida State sent one over the fence, bottom of the seventh inning. Michigan on the softball side, I had to go home disappointed, but extremely proud. And to talk about the season and talk about that series, Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins. Hutch, good morning.
Good morning, Sam, Ira. How you doing?
Doing great, Coach, and glad to have you with us. Glad to reflect upon what was obviously didn't end the way you wanted it to, but it was so much fun. It was just a thrill ride all the way around, and looking forward to kind of reflecting with you because you guys had some adversity heading into that series. No doubt, illnesses running through your roster, and you guys came out and absolutely hit the ground running. You were on fire in game one and won it 17-3.
Well, we really we did come out just really locked in at the plate, and we had I thought our game plan against Waldrop was executed well, and we knocked her out of the game. And it was only 6-3 when they took her out. But then we were able to get to their bullpen, and they don't use their bullpen, obviously, for reason. And, we just had bad on ball. And as I told the kids afterwards, it doesn't matter if you win 1-0 or 17-3. I mean, the next day, they'll have no bearing on the next day. And clearly it did not. But, our kids, we did. We had to fight through. We had the flu running rampant, and we had about 5 different people in the lineup that just weren't at their best. They were not feeling their best. Coley Sappingfield and Romo didn't eat much all week. Caitlin Blanchard wasn't eating much. She had been very sick. And Haley Wagner, unbeknownst to most people, had some symptoms of the flu for a couple of days, and it didn't seem to be as severe, but she hadn't kept a lot of food down, and she was, tossing it up during the game, to be quite honest.
Gotcha. Well, Coach, I recall you saying after that contest, and as much as you coach your players, I think you're coaching the fans indirectly. You said, look, there's a lot of softball left. And clearly that was the case as it came out the next day, and Waldrop had settled down. And she walked more than she was accustomed to in the first game, but that wasn't the case in game number 2.
Yeah, she settled in and had her confidence back, her moxie back. And, you just really have to give them credit. She came out and didn't let day one phase her, and she did what she does best, which is just pitch one pitch at a time, and I thought she was excellent.
Right. Now, Coach, you along the way, and I kind of want to get into your decision making, how you determine what moves you're going to make in the circle when you leave a starter in. When you go to your bullpen and bring someone out, what went into your decision in that game?
Game 2?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we started Betsa. She had been spectacular in game 1 against them. We brought her in. She actually got the win. They had 6 hits in less than 2 innings off Haley Wagner. And so when we brought Betsa in, I thought she was lights out and scoring runs off her. So we started her, but she pitched a gem for the first 5 innings.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, then she just gave up a big hit. One big hit, and it seemed to derail her a little bit. And she threw 3 home runs in 1 inning, which to me is simply losing your confidence immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But we kept her in because Sarah was not well. We didn't know if she had enough to go, and you weren't going to put your next pitcher in when you're behind in the game because the pitcher can't get you runs. And at that point, until we got in the game, we had to just leave Betsa in.
Gotcha.
And that's why you make that decision. You got to save your arm. We didn't want them to have any more looks at Haley Wagner. And we were able to get Sarah. We got her warmed up, and she did a good job. She held them down for 2 innings, and really just she had to gut through that. She was not at her best.
Gotcha. Yeah, and they kind of alluded to that maybe, it's one of those things where you don't want to let them see any more than they have to who you're going to have coming out there in the next game. And
right.
So, yeah, that makes total sense, Coach. And so you get into that last game, and your team has been one for, a flair for the dramatic. We've seen these late inning, things go both ways, go against you and go for you. And in that contest, I could hear you kind of speaking. You guys get the bases loaded, the top of the seventh, and can't quite get one across, and they do in the bottom of the seventh with the walk-off home run.
Oh, that's the difference in the game. A timely hit versus we didn't have a timely hit when we needed it most, and we out-hit them throughout the game. I believe we had 10 hits. We had something like 12 runners left on base, and we hit the ball well several times, and their third baseman, I'll tell you what, she was a difference maker. She made some plays we hit some rockets and got out. And so, it was tough. It was tough to lose it. I thought we were so close. We had such a good chance to win, but they made the plays they needed to make. We didn't get the timely hit we needed, and we're sitting home watching them tonight.
We're talking to Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. As much as that's the case, Coach, you didn't get the timely hit. I'm with you in that sometimes you got to tip your cap to the opponent, because those were some shots hit up the third baseline. Their pitcher did come back and regain her composure. That's a good team that beat you over there.
It is a good team. They're a tough team, because to come back from getting pounded and to just stay confident, that's toughness. That is mental toughness. I was very impressed with Lacey Waldrop and with Florida State. They're a good softball team, and they're very deserving.
All right, so let's talk about you guys, Coach. Obviously you lose some seniors. You lose Caitlin Blanchard, Lindsey Doyle, Hasselback. Speaking of which, I guess I want to talk about that because they did a lot on her rise from obscurity this season. Was that, when you look back at Taylor Hasselbeck's season and career, to see this rise that she had in her final season, was that something that you saw on the horizon heading into this year, or did it kind of catch you somewhat by surprise as well?
Well, we recruited Taylor Hasselbeck for that bat. We knew she could hit it, and I've seen her for 3 years in batting practice hit the ball farther than anybody. Her power is amazing. But softball and baseball, it's a mental game. It's a lot of failure in the game, and being able to handle the failure. And to be honest, that's what she wasn't very good at for 3 years. And she let her failures take her over. And I knew she had it in her, but I never know what they're going to come back as year to year. And to her credit, she really persevered, because her career did not go the way either of us had planned or hoped. Mm-hmm. And I thought, you have to give her credit, because she turned it around and had her best season her senior year. Certainly helped us tremendously in our run, and we had a chance to get to the World Series, and many teams can't say that. So I give her a lot of credit. She was a tough woman at the end of her career.
Absolutely, and it kind of reminds me of a conversation we had last year. You were talking about Haley and some improvements she needed to make in the off season, and she did. She made those improvements and came back this season much better than she finished last season. Taylor made improvements, obviously, when you addressed the team, or I don't know if you've done it already. What are some of the things? Who are some of the players that you're talking to and saying, hey, we need this from you next year?
Well, we definitely address them individually, because people like Kelly Christner, who's going to play next year and is a fantastic athlete, we need numbers from her. We need her to be a productive hitter and hit somewhere in the middle of our order, 2 to 9 or 2 to 6, because that's what we need, and that's what she's capable of. And, Kaylee did. She had a much better year this year. She was our ace for the majority of the season. And, my message to her was, but we need to finish games and finish the season, because at the end of the season, she didn't have her best stuff when we needed it. And, it's just a matter of committing to stay in your process every pitch of every game. And she can get better. And she was named second-team All-American, and I'm very happy for her because that's quite an accomplishment. Yet I believe she's capable of more. And so, you go through the kids individually, what they can do physically, and most importantly, what they can do mentally. And my message to them was, I think Michigan softball, when people talk about us, they're going to tell you that we're a really tough team. We play tough softball down the stretch. We're tough. But if you look at the weakness, I believe we're not tough enough. Mm-hmm. And, again, we just, it's a work in progress every year. We'll start over next year because this year will have no bearing on next year. We have some great kids. We have some great kids coming in. We definitely have some large shoes to fill, very large. But that's every year. That never changes. So the kids, more than anything, they need a break. That was an awfully long end-of-season run from the Big Ten tournament to our trip to Tallahassee. I mean, we were on the road for 17 days or something. And, they're tired. So they need a break, and then they need to get back at it.
Coach, I'll understand if you don't want to share with us what you're thinking with regard to this question, but you mentioned you have some huge shoes to fill. Your leadoff hitter, your two-spot, got to replace both of those. Batting behind Romo, you got to replace Caitlin Blanchard. Do you have an idea yet of who you're going to put in those places at this point?
I don't. I've only given it a little thought. We have a different kind of lineup next year. I didn't replace the outfielders with slappers. I've got Aiden Falk coming in from New York, who's a big power hitter, big lefty hitter. Of course, Kelly Christner, who's a hitter, not a slapper, and Sierra Lawrence. So they'll be, my prime suspects to be in the outfield. And some of that will have to evolve. And Romo may have to move position in the order. First or second is a possibility because we need a protector, and somebody's going to have to step up and hit behind her well, and that will evolve because we're going to have a lot of new faces in the lineup. I expect the freshmen to make an impact, and I also have to expect the freshmen to be freshmen. So I've got to, give them a chance to learn how to play at this level, which the only difference between this level and the level they just came from is the pace and the intensity of the game.
Well, Coach, I can't thank you enough for another great season on the field. It was so much fun to follow and to go along for the ride, and then everything you do off the field as well with the softball academy. That is a labor of love for us. So just appreciate you spending so much time with us again this year.
Well, it's my honor, really, and we're so thankful that you all help make the academy go and help make Michigan softball what it is to the fans because you put us right in touch with them. And I'm appreciative to all the fans at Alumni Field. Next year, our goal will definitely be to bring that postseason back to Ann Arbor and to play great one-pitch softball for all our great Michigan folks.
All right, well, Hutch, great job once again. And, hey, it won't be a whole off season that we'll go without talking to you. But you have what about a softball camp for the kids?
We've got summer camps going online right now. If you go to mgoblue.com, and you can definitely sign up for. We've got several camps coming up. We're having smaller 2-day camps instead of a full week live-in camp. And we're pretty excited. I think camp's going to be a much upgraded experience for the people involved. But go to mgoblue.com, go to the summer camp section, and definitely sign up because they are going to fill up, no doubt.
Gotcha. All right, Coach. Thanks a lot as always.
All right, thanks for that plug.
All right.
Have a good summer.
That was Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins.
Coach Hutchins, Coach Bakich, all of our great baseball and softball coverage brought to you by Advantage Sports. Want to take your game to new heights? Advantage Sports on Stadium Boulevard in Ann Arbor is the place to catch the advantage for all things baseball and softball. Advantage Sports carries all the top brands, including Wilson, Demarine, Easton, Rawlings, and Mizuno, offering everything needed to outfit any serious ball player with indoor batting cages and professional instruction, glove and equipment repair by GP Sports Services, and physical training by Advantage Strength and Conditioning. Everything you need to fine-tune your game is under one roof, so choose to catch the advantage at Advantage Sports on Stadium Boulevard in Ann Arbor. Visit catchtheadvantage.com or call 734-369-4944.
Just to give you a season rewind real quick, 47-15. They won the Big Ten for the 7th consecutive season, made the NCAA tournament for the 20th straight year, won 16th regional title in the NCAA tournament. They had 7 players named All Big Ten. Romo was a top 3 finalist for Player of the Year. Romo and Haley Wagner were both named All-Americans. And, of course, the Softball Academy raised over $118,000. Again, disappointed with how it finished, but you have to be proud. What another thrill ride this season was. One that was full of great accomplishments.
It was an awesome season. A little disappointing at the end, but an awesome season, and looking forward to those home playoff games next year.
Absolutely. 8:46 on a Thursday. Got to get to a break. Back on the other side here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, the official voice of University of Michigan.